What happens when you unleash a force of nature? That's exactly what the team was dealing with when they took on the world's biggest dam removal project. The ripple effects have been huge, and 9 NexSens buoys have helped unravel the story of transforming a river and its surrounding communities. Hi, I'm Stephanie Andrews,
climate scientist,
ocean adventurer, and systems specialist at NexSens. The Klamath Dam is actually 4 dams located along the Klamath River, built to serve as irrigation and hydroelectric plants. But they had a major problem. Part of the reason these dams were so environmentally destructive is because the Klamath River was once the 3rd largest salmon-producing river in the contiguous US, with fish migrating from the ocean upstream to spawn. But when the dams were built, salmon were trapped above or below them, decimating the population. Not only an ecological disaster, this had a massive impact on the indigenous people, who relied on the fishery for food, and also as an important part of their cultural identity. The impact on fisheries was one of the main reasons the dam removal happened. Since their construction in the early 1900s, indigenous groups like the Yurok tribe protested the project, knowing how the dams would impact salmon populations. And in 2002, their concerns materialised in the worst possible way, when water was diverted for irrigation, and between 30 and 70,000 salmon were killed. Subsequent years of declining productivity, rising costs, and toxic algae in the reservoirs led operators to finally agree to remove the dams in 2010. But people were worried. This was a major project. What would happen to the surrounding environment and the decades of sediment buildup trapped behind the dams when they were removed? Having been involved in early discussions around the removal of the dams, Gravity Consulting was chosen to monitor the river before, during, and after the dams were removed. The team studied the local flora to understand what types of vegetation would work best to fix the mountain of sediment that removing the dams would release. Gravity Consulting worked with AECOM to conduct planting studies. Based on these results, they were able to advise the Klamath River Renewal Corporation, and AECOM worked alongside contractor Jacobs on the construction of vegetation-covered slopes to help limit erosion and stabilise the river once it was free to flow again. Before the first dam was removed, 9 NexSens CB650 data buoys were deployed below the dam at the mouth of the river. Equipped with NexSens X-series data loggers and the Nortec Signature 1000 Doppler current profiler, the buoys measured sediment loads and movement. The sensors gathered baseline sediment data that could be used to compare the water column profile during and after removal. When the dams were removed, a large amount of sediment was released into the lower part of the Klamath River. The buoys were able to measure how much sediment was transported, and the data showed that the majority stayed in the water column and was pushed offshore, dispersing into the deep water zone, a big relief for those concerned about sediment settling in nearshore habitat zones. These buoys have played a vital role in tracking the underwater impact of the largest dam removal project in history. Now retired, they've captured the story of a transforming ecosystem, helping scientists unravel the ripple effects of a river set free. Visit nexsens.com for more information. NexSens. Better data. It's never been easier.